Hello, today we're going to talk about concept 3, distinguishing between function families. It says classify each function as linear, linear absolute value, quadratic, or exponential functions. These are the 4 that we're going to look at specifically in this class and then explain your reasoning. Okay, I'll give you some hints to this. The first one, if you notice, it has some identifying characteristics. When we see x in the exponent, that is known as an exponential function. Okay, so x in the exponent is exponential. The shape of that is something you're going to have to learn. It's curved. It doesn't go back up into a U shape. It's either curved up or curved down, kind of like a ramp. The next function we looked at in class is when there's a 2 in the exponent. Okay, so when there's a 2 in the exponent, that is quadratic. Now, this is one that students get confused often. Okay, so please make sure that when x is in the exponent, it's exponential. And then you can learn that when, excuse the bell, when 2 is in the exponent, that is quadratic. Now, what I like to say is quadratic, it has a U in the spelling of it, and therefore that helps you remember it is U-shaped. Now, that could be regular U or an upside down U. So it's made of a smooth curve, but it is always U-shaped. The next one we looked at in class was linear absolute value. This one should be fairly easy. We should know that these are absolute value bars, is what I call them. Therefore, it's an absolute value function family. Okay? And then also in class, I talked about absolute value is spelled with a V. Therefore, the shape is V-shaped. And again, that could be a regular V or an upside down V. So we have some hints there. X in the exponent is exponential. When it has a 2 in the exponent, that's going to be quadratic, and quadratic was spelled with a U, therefore we know it's U-shaped. These, we should know these are absolute value bars. That's an easy one. It's an absolute value function. And then again, to memorize the shape, absolute value is spelled with the V, therefore it's V-shaped. And the fourth one we're going to look at is linear. If it doesn't have exponents and it doesn't have bars, therefore it's going to be linear. And that's how we're going to remember that, if it doesn't have any of those identifying characteristics. So let's look at some examples, and I'll leave those notes up. So concept 3, if we look at these 3 problems, okay? Let's skip number 1 for now. Let's go to the second one. The second one, I notice here that there's an x in the exponent. And from what I talked about earlier, when there's an x in the exponent, it is exponential. We should know that's curved up or curved down, and we'll learn that at a future date. This third one here has these absolute value bars. And again, that should be an easy one. If it has the absolute value bars, then it's the absolute value function family. And let's go back to the first one now. This first one doesn't have any exponents. It doesn't have any absolute value bars. Therefore, we should know this is linear. Let's go ahead and look at the second set. Again, when I look at this, I see the 2 in the exponent. We should know when there's a 2 in the exponent, it is quadratic. And then I spell quadratic with a U. So therefore, I know it's U-shaped. This one, just like the first one, has no exponents, no bars. Therefore, it must be linear. And this last one here, I see x in the exponent. X in the exponent is exponential. And you could take a couple seconds to review these last 3 problems and see if you can get those answers. We also have to identify from a graph. Okay, so you might have to rewind the video to see this. But this is a curved. It's not U-shaped, it's not V-shaped, and it's not linear. This is an exponential function family. Okay. This one is a straight line. It is decreasing. So that is linear. One way I help myself remember linear is there's a word line in linear. I think most students will remember that. This one is not one of the 5 we looked at, but if you look at this picture, it's pieces of lines. 3 different lines. We don't spend a lot of time in this class using this one, but this is linear piecewise. It is not one I talked about. This next one is U-shaped. So which one of those words uses a U? So we'll scroll back up. We got linear, which we should know is line. Quadratic, there's my U. So therefore, this is quadratic function family. Another one is a smooth curve. Again, it's not a line. It's not U-shaped. It's not V-shaped. That is exponential. And finally, get to this last one. It's a straight line, but then it ricochets back down. Although that is an upside down V, it is V-shaped. That's what we consider that. Again, let's go through the list that we got to choose from. We got linear, which is lines, could be quadratic, which we already said is U-shaped. Exponential, that's when you got to learn that is curved, remember? And then we got linear absolute value. An absolute value function is spelled with the V, and that's how I remember that. So therefore, this is the absolute value function. Hope that helps you identify for concept 3.